What's up, everybody? I'm Hunter. We're going to be the local casuals today, bringing you our thoughts before HRMMA 124 goes down this Saturday. I'm here with my friends Hayden and Trey, and fight card on February 1st is at the Packerat Springs Conference Center in Shepherdsville, Kentucky. This card is stacked with exciting matchups, has a ton of potential for knockout after knockout, I think. The whole card is really just to the gills, man. Awesome card. For the main event, we got welterweight title fight with Todd Pickett, champion, defending his belt with Damian Douglas coming in as a challenger. That should be a really exciting fight. I'm glad to be able to watch it in person. To start off with, just to preface, we're coming in at this. This is almost 1 o'clock in the morning, a day before the fight. We're trying to get this out for you. We just kind of come in on short notice, so a lot of the information we've got is coming straight from Tapology. We did try to do as much research as we could. So if we get stuff wrong, which we are going to, correct us down in the comments. If you see us at the fights, be like, hey, man, appreciate you getting my stats wrong. But anyway, we're going to cover it. This card consists of 12 MMA bouts and 3 grappling bouts. It's pretty similar to the cards we've seen before from Made Men and HRMMA. Bowling Green on November 23rd was the last fight that we all went to in person. We got the opportunity to see quite a few of these names on this card, and I'm excited to watch them again. I hope you guys are too. The way we're going to break down our card this time is we're going to go ahead and do the grappling bouts rather first. Break down those 3, even though one of them is on the main card. We're just going to go ahead and lump them in here. Take care of them first, and then move on to the MMA portion of the card and round it off with our lock of the night pick. And so let's get started here. Like I said, these are the grappling bouts. All 3 of the bouts are professional fights. 1 round, 8-minute rounds. 1 8-minute round is another way you could say that if you wanted to. Like I said, there's not a whole lot of information on some of these fighters, so we're going to do our best to provide you as much accurate information as we can and give our takes on it. So starting off, we got Dylan Vincent and Jacob LeMaster. Couldn't find a whole lot of stuff on Jacob LeMaster upon first look, but we've got Vincent riding in with 18 submission wins. My pick for this is going to be Vincent. I just think his experience, although LeMaster, I don't think is inexperienced by any means. I think he's a pretty well accoladed fighter as well. I'm just going to rock with Vincent because I think he's going to be more comfortable in this situation. So take it away, Hayden.
Yeah, I mean, LeMaster, he's no slouch, of course. It's, like you said, couldn't really find anything online about LeMaster in terms of grappling, but he defended the belt with a rear naked choke finish. I mean, he also has another rear naked choke finish. This guy likes the rear naked choke, so as long as Vincent can keep LeMaster off his back, I think Vincent does have this. I think he just has a little bit more experience, at least what's public knowledge that we could find.
Trey, you got any thoughts on this?
I feel like we had a great little battle at the beginning of the night. I feel like LeMaster is surging. He's won the featherweight belt in another promotion, but I think Vincent is just way too comfortable off his back and just will get the finish.
All right. Moving on to the next one, we've got Travis Hudson versus Jordan Gast. I've seen Hudson fight quite a bit in our time watching these fights. The most recent one was in Bowling Green. Hudson came out extremely quick. He came out and attempted an Imanari roll, and he ended up beating Jacob Yancey, who was also on this card, to an ankle lock. They're both very experienced fighters. Gast is coming off 2 losses and a draw here, but my pick for this is going to be Hudson. I think he's got the experience in, and he looked really good in his last fight. So that's my pick. Hayden?
Yeah, I mean, looking at Gast, he has, 30 submissions in the first round and 1 in the second round. I mean, that's good, man. But he just, I don't know, he just seems to be on a losing streak, and might be a little bit of a bias here. But we, like you said, we saw Hudson in person. He came out strong. He looked great. I mean, like I said, he put Yancey away with that ankle lock pretty fast. So I think Hudson gets it done here.
Great.
So we got two very experienced warriors out here going head to head. I feel like Hudson's gonna edge out. He got the momentum. I just like how he did last fight.
All right. Moving on to the main card for our grappling bout, we've got Kelsey Elmore versus Maria De La Hoz. Originally, Kelsey was scheduled to fight Kennedy Hundley, and they canceled, and this match was made. So this is Kelsey's first pro grappling fight, but she is coming off of 2 wins by rear naked choke. So I couldn't find a whole lot about Maria, but from what I can tell, I'm going to give it to Elmore just based on that alone, really. I think they look great, and I watched a few of her MMA fights, and she looked really good in her fights there. Like I said, I don't have enough information about Maria to give an accurate reading on it, so just by default, I'm going Elmore on this one.
Yeah, like you said, I mean, it's just not a lot about Maria online. It's hard to make a prediction off of that. Just have to give it to Kelsey by default here. I mean, she clearly shows, promise with her stats online, but is by default give it to Kelsey here.
I have to agree. I can't say anything that hasn't been said before. I just have to agree with that.
All right. Now we're moving into our actual MMA fights here. So, gonna have Hayden leading us in with the first one here. Take it away.
Yeah. We got Anisette versus Daniel Lorenza. This is Anisette's first bout, which is against a 0-1 Daniel here, who faced a submission loss this last December via an armbar. Kind of had doubts with Daniel fighting this fight because he, on social media, he posted him fighting in March with New Line Cage Fighting. So it's kind of, doubtful if he was going to show up to this one, but I think he will. I think brother's just ready to go. So major respect to him for that. Daniel's last fight was on short notice, less than a week's notice actually. So props to him for that. It takes some guts to do that kind of thing. Looking back at the video, it seemed like Daniel got his elbow tweaked there a little bit off that armbar. Maybe he tapped a little bit too late. And that's just that fighting spirit. I can understand that, but I just hope he's okay and healthy to fight. It's only been not a little over a month now, almost 2. In his last fight, Daniel did show some good grappling exchanges, but it did seem like his BJJ is a little weak. I kind of have my doubts if Daniel can improve his game and bounce back so quickly. But him being a wrestler, these guys have the grit that you need to do that kind of thing. So, maybe he's able to, bounce back from these losses and improve his game. But let's look at Anisette a little closer. Fighting out of Fight Factory in Louisville. He doesn't have any prior MMA history, but his gym does. His gym has a lot of submissions in the MMA cage, so that is something to look out for. The latest win is in June of 2024, so it seems like Anissa is training with some killers. But not to mention, Anissa BJJ career. He's a blue belt. I mean, he's won in a 16 plus white belt division. A gold at Jiu-Jitsu Open last year in Louisville. Shout out Nick, love that guy and his content. For anyone who knows what I'm talking about, and having a total of 4 submission wins. I mean, Anissa is clearly a killer on the ground. He's training with killers. So, with that information, I'm gonna have to side with Anissa by submission. What are y'all thoughts on the fight?
I think I agree with everything you've said there. Like you said, props to Daniel here. Yeah, Daniel stepping in. If he is going to fight in New Line on such a short notice, it's crazy. He's got that kind of drive to fight. I think it'd be nice to see Anisette come out and take care of business here. But I'm not going to turn down on Daniel for stepping in and doing his thing on short notice. Like you said, hope he is healthy coming into this. But I'm going to give it to Anisette by submission as well.
Daniel's high props, very high props. He's still young in the game though. I feel like an ace is gonna be too much for him. I feel like he's gonna get the win. Ground game too strong.
All right.
All
Moving
right,
on.
moving
we got.
on.
Oh, you got it.
I got it. Moving on to Dakota Williams versus Tyrone Moore. Right. We saw Tyrone Moore fight last November in Bowling Green in his first amateur bout versus Eduardo Ramirez. Hey, Moore looked great in the beginning of the fight. You know, I love his clinch work, his distance management, his kicks was making a visible impact. You know, it was demanding respect from his opponent. I like what I saw. As the fight went on, though, Moore kind of started resorting to looping shots. His guard was down, and you know that did get him punished. You know, I personally had Moore via decision that fight, but the judges gave it to Ramirez. You know, I do believe Moore's body language did play a big part in that, just because the way he looked, guard down, you know, little swinging, you know, it just doesn't look good. But I do hope to see that Moore comes out this Saturday with a little bit better cardio. You know, I hope he has prepared a little better for later rounds if he would have to go into them. And I hope he keeps using those kicks and that reach of his. I mean, it was clearly working for him in the Ramirez fight, and I think it would clearly work for him in the Williams fight here. But a little about Williams. He hasn't fought since 2020. So it's hard to say much here. In his last fight, he had a really dominant grappling in the first round. Had top position a lot. I mean, just clearly gifted in BJJ. But he did get caught in some clinch work in the round two, and he got put away. But he was fighting at 205 in 2020. Now I believe he's fighting at 170 here this Saturday. So it'll be interesting to see him back after so many years off. You know, I think Moore's path to victory is to use his clear striking advantage and keep Williams at distance. But Williams' path to victory, you know, is going to be to showcase his clear talent in BJJ and put, as I say, put Moore away or, you know, submit him. So my official prediction here is going to be Williams if he's able to implement his ground game. You know, I feel Williams knows Moore's advantages here. He knows Moore's is lengthy and, you know, probably a better striker than he is. So I think he's going to take it to the ground and probably submit him is what I have to guess. Williams by submission. I guess think.
I got some faith in Tyrone Moore here. He looked pretty good. He came out and you know, you could tell his nerves were hitting pretty hard at Bowling Green when we watched him. His body language, he got a little apprehensive, and then when he did, he got a little squirrely in the cage. He wasn't really I won't say he was like making himself like go too far, but I think he was just kind of really, he might have been in his head a little bit. I don't know, he might have just been trying to work it out, get the nerves off of him. He was throwing some little wild shots. He did throw a lot of kicks there. A few of them did hit and land like they should have. And like you said, man, Moore is 4 years more active. I guess. I mean, like Moore has. Moore fought 2 months ago, and Ramirez fought 4 years ago. So, or Williams fought 4 years ago, rather. So, you know, ring rust could be a real thing. I don't know if Dakota Williams can shake it off enough to come in at this 170-pound amateur fight here. So I'm going to give it to, put my faith in Moore here for a Moore decision.
I think I have to agree. I think I got faith in Moore. I think he hits a little bit too hard for Williams to handle. And also, I think just that long leg off is just way too much. So I'm going to go with Moore for sure.
All right. Next on the card, we've got Quentin Shirley versus Jeremy Miramontes. We saw Shirley last time he fought here in Shepherdsville, so got a little bit of hands-on, up-front experience with him. He was a really impressive force to be reckoned with in the cage here. He got a decision win against Donnie Osborne 7 months ago in the Future of Fighting, and then he got that KO due to strikes around 11 months ago, almost a year ago. So I don't know how his experience is going to be like on the ground necessarily. Facing Miramontes here, Miramontes seems like he's got quite the submission background. So it's gonna be hard. I think Miramontes might come out, put him up against the cage, keep him on the ground, kind of dominate him a little bit. If he's not careful, I think Quentin could find himself in a position where he might get edged out by a decision or possibly even a submission if he's not careful. But if they do stand and bang, I think Shirley could put in some nice shots, get him tired down a little bit, and maybe put in the win. So I'm gonna get Shirley by decision if they stay on the feet. But
You know, you said exactly there. If they stay on the feet, and I really think Miramontes here is gonna come in and use his. I think Miramontes has a clear grappling advantage. It seems like he has 2 wins, at least publicly. His one gold in the BJJ circuit. So I do believe if he is able to come in and implement his jiu-jitsu, he's going to be able to hold down Shirley and maybe even submit him. But I feel like he's just going to be able to hold him down and squeeze out a win via decision.
Shirley does have some heavy hands and some great knees. I feel like I'm going to agree. Where Menez, BJJ is just way too good. So I feel like he's got it for sure.
all right. We got Bryce Barnes and Murat Muratov up next. I think Hayden, you had that one.
Yeah, I had that one right here. Pulling it up. So, I'm excited to see Muradov here. This guy looks really fun. I recommend anyone go watch Muradov versus Winters at Future of Fighting 5. There's a reason it got Fight of the Night. High action, super fun grappling exchanges. Like I said, I am stoked for this one. Muradov, staying active. His Fight of the Night performance was last December, where he picked up a decision victory. He's fighting out of Area 502 MMA gym, which seems to produce quite a bit of promising athletes, with impressive records. Now, Barnes hasn't fought since 2023, and none of his fights are online, so it's kind of hard to look into him. He has a submission victory and a submission loss. He's fighting out of Gas Tank MMA, which seems to be a BJJ-centered gym based on their online presence. Both men seem to have a decent grappling skill set, so I'm going to guess we're going to see a lot of grappling this match. It did seem like Muradov may have had some trouble finishing submissions in his Fight of the Night performance, but I'm going to side with the more active fighter here and guess Muradov decision instead of submission. But I wouldn't be surprised if we saw a submission from Muradov. But my official guess is Muradov by decision. What do y'all think?
I've got a Muradov toss up here. Barnes has got some ring rust a little bit, like you were saying. But both fights have been canceled. Their previous bouts were canceled, so they're kind of fighting each other. On maybe, I'm not sure when the fights were canceled and this matchup was made, so it's kind of hard to tell, how much time they had to prepare for each other. So that's why I'm kind of hesitant to give it to either one right off of what I'm seeing here. But I'm gonna give it to Muradov in this toss-up bout here, but I think it should be a fun fight either way.
And I'd also agree with Molotov. I really liked his takedown game. I just feel like he's going to be able to take Barnes down all out throughout 3 rounds.
All right. Moving on, we've got Will Davis versus Steven Stefano. I believe that's how you say his name. This has been a kind of a decisive one between us, I think, or a divisive one rather. We kind of went back and forth on this one a lot. From what I've seen, Will Davis is accurate, man, in his striking. His boxing was really impressive against George Nichols. In that fight, though, his takedown defense was just lacking a little bit, and I'm interested to see how he's going to adapt to that against currently in, from what I'm seeing here, a 2-0 Stefano, with both of his wins by split decision. I don't know. Yeah, it's a hard one, man. It's really hard to step in here. We did some digging, and according to Tapology, Stefano is 13 years older than Davis. That's a real factor to look into, I think. I mean,
Yeah, absolutely.
I don't know. I'm confident. I think that Steven is going to shoot a takedown like pretty early in the fight. I don't think he's going to want to stand and strike with Davis. I think Davis hits too hard. I think Davis too accurate. Um, but both of them have some impressive accolades, and it's just hard to really, gauge on this one. I know we went back and forth on it a lot going into this, so I'm gonna give it to Will Davis by decision. I don't know. I just think maybe if he can hold off Stefano, maybe kind of keep himself up on the feet, a little back and forth action, he might go to the ground too. If they go to the ground, it's going to be a really interesting fight, I think. But I'll pass it over to you to go ahead and give me your thoughts.
I mean, yeah. I mean, I just feel like I don't know. It's hard to say. I like Savano's public BJJ accolades. I mean, he has 2 gold, 5 wins, 3 by submission. Uh, it's kind of hard to tell which, Will Davis is kind of a lot of people might have that name, so it's kind of hard to find Will online. I believe the one I'm looking at, just based off the account, Dirty City Mixed Martial Arts. I believe that's him. It says he's a purple belt. 3 wins, 2 by submission. I think y'all are right. I think Stefano is going to go for a takedown just to avoid Davis's striking. But I feel like Davis is going to make him pay for it and submit him. He does that. So that's my official guess. It's Davis by submission.
I think I'm liking what Hayden's thinking. I think Stefano will struggle at Will Davis's range, and he's going to shoot for a takedown. They're in a good grappling match at the bottom, but I think Davis is going to come up at the top. Sure.
All right, fellas. I want y'all to listen to this one. I want you to listen good. All right. This fight, you need to watch it. You need to put it on your list of fights to tune into, because Gabriel Ruth versus Chika Okafor is going to be a spectacle, I think. If Chika is going to pull off a win here, he's going to have to watch his positioning and make sure he's blocking some shots, because Gabriel is fast and accurate. If he's gonna pull it off, Chika is gonna have to be smart, wait for openings, and gain a little ground while he can, because I don't think he can stand and outstrike Ruth here. Ruth is coming off of 2 absolutely ruthless kickboxing knockouts. He is wild, he's high octane, but he is most of all accurate. And like especially his kicks. His kicks are like very.
No way, did he freeze?
Do it. Am I good?
Oh, okay.
Oh,
You're back.
okay. We'll just put it back in. Anyway, back to what I was saying. Ruth is coming off of 2 kickboxing. You pros too, so. Ruth is coming off of 2 kickboxing first round knockouts, and he's going to be just a wild fight to watch. So, I'm taking Ruth first round KO here.
Absolutely. I mean, I just look, go look up Gabriel Ruth's Tapology, and just look up on YouTube those fights. Vicious KOs. This guy's getting another one Saturday night. I believe it.
Okafor is super explosive as well, but I do think Ruth has 2 crazy knockouts. You guys check out those knockouts.
I
think we're gonna get another one.
I love his karate
Another one
style.
tonight.
It is so fun to watch. So light on his feet. It is just really, just creative striking. That's what makes a good striker. I feel like it's super creative. I love it.
I agree. Those knockouts are insane to watch. Like, it's going to be a really intense thing to watch live. I think it's definitely not going past the first.
Absolutely.
Up next, I've got Jacob Yancey and Gerardo Alfaro. This bout was supposed to take place in March 2024 at the Future Fighting event, but for some reason it was canceled and they moved it to this one. Um, Gerardo and Yancey both fought on the Bowling Green card that we went and watched in November of last year. I have huge respect for both these guys. These guys are really fun to watch. Um, Gerardo in his fight in Bowling Green came out and he looked great. He was. It seemed like his cardio might have been a little lacking there towards the end, but I mean, obviously you're fighting for you're fighting. I mean that's just given. You know, very few people can come out fight and not look a little gassed at the end of it. An absolute war was going on out there. Gerardo, they did spend a lot of time on the ground in that fight, but Gerardo ended up getting a decision win. Yancey, on the other hand, he's been pretty active. He fought another guy on this card, actually two other guys on this card. He's fought Travis Hudson and Ashby recently. So Yancey, his last fight was a grappling bout in Bowling Green. So I'm gonna say I'm gonna give it to Gerardo on this one. Just I'm gonna give it a Gerardo decision. He got a first round stoppage in his debut fight, but I think this fight's gonna be a dog fight. I expect him to probably spend a lot of time on the ground. They're both pretty. I know Gerardo's been working on his jiu-jitsu on Instagram. He hit me up after the last set of fights to get some pictures and stuff from me, and he just put on a great show, man. He did a great job, and he's been putting in a lot of work, it seems. So I'm sure Yancey has as well. Yancey's just as much in this fight as anybody could have been. So I think it'll be a pretty nice fight to watch.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, I just feel like, I just really like Yancey's background here. Muay Thai. He's done a lot of kickboxing. It seems like he has success in kickboxing. I just feel like Yancey's. I feel like just based on what I can find, it seems like he has more, uh, I guess, BJJ experience. I just feel like Gerardo might have trouble implementing that on Yancey. So it's going to stay maybe on the feet or not really long engagements in the grappling. If Yancey feels like he can outstrike Gerardo here, I'd say Yancey should probably look to disengage and use his Muay Thai. I think that's his path to victory. Either put Gerardo away or squeeze out a decision. So I'm gonna say Yancey decision.
Yeah, I feel like this is a tough one. I keep going back and forth. I think Yancey has just too many different styles, and I just feel like it's gonna be a little bit too much for Alvarado to cover. So I think I'm gonna go with the Yancey.
I'm right. I'm the outlier in that one. Up next, another fight I think you should really tune into. I think this is going to be an exciting fight. I'm so excited to watch this fight. We got Kalen Hutcherson versus Dylan Mays here. Dude, I'm on the Kalen hype train. I'm not gonna lie. He put on an absolute show. He got Hard Rock's 2024 KO of the year with an absolutely devastating head kick against Tyler Staples. He picked his shots well in that fight, and he finished the fight with an awesome knockout. He actually is on, I think, a 2 knockout win streak at this point, if I'm not mistaken. I think Kalen's going to come out strong, and I think as long as he's careful, he's going to come out with another win. Mays, he's going to have to provide some finishing power in this one. I lost a few of his fights. He looked good, don't get me wrong, he looked great, but he just kind of, he's a little long. So when he was like throwing his punches and stuff off the ground, he wasn't really doing as much damage, I think, as he probably could have been. Maybe he's more suited on his feet for some of that power. But I don't think a decision win is going to cut it here with Kalen. I think you're going to have to knock Kalen out, or it's going to be a dogfight. I think it's going to be a dogfight either way. But I got Hutcherson by KO, TKO, stoppage. But I think Kalen's going to pull out the win here.
I absolutely agree. Just based off Mays' recent form. It just seems like he's only able to get to that decision, either win or lose. But I just, like I said, I'm on the Kalen hype train here. That KO was spectacular, the one we saw in Bowling Green, and he's coming off 2 of those. So on the hype train, I'm predicting a Kalen Hutchinson TKO here.
I think I'm going to join you on the hype train.
There we
Hutchinson
go.
has way too much power. I love his knockout ability, but I think it's gonna be a decision. I think Mace can last the full 3 rounds.
Yeah, that makes sense. I mean, he's clearly shown that, but
Done it. And
yeah, he's done it. Yeah, you're right. Boy's tough.
That's
too tough.
I think you're right. I think he is going to be a tough one for Kalen. I think it's going to be a
good test.
Yeah, I think it'll probably be the end of the third before if they stop. I don't know. I mean, like I said, Kalen by all means could come out and just dominate the first round, but from what I've seen, Dylan's no slouch. He comes out and he puts in the work.
I would like to see Kalen in a later round here. What both his fights are round 1, yeah. So I would like to see him in later rounds. I wonder if he does start welting in round 2 and 3.
Yeah, Mays is coming in. He's got a little bit more cage time. It looks like he's 5-5 right now on the Tapology report. But like you said, Kalen's got 2 first-round KOs. So I don't really think you're going to put Dylan out in an easy manner anyway. Like I think Dylan's going to be in there. So I think that's a very valid point. I think you see Kalen in the later rounds, you might see a little bit of a different fight. So I still think Hutchinson's going to pull it off, but we'll see. I'm excited for this one, man. Up next, we got Jaquise McNeil and Cameron Ashby. We saw Cameron fight at the Bowling Green card as well. One thing, when we come in, Cameron was in the octagon as we walked in before the event started. We got to go in a little early, and Cameron was in there kind of, warming up a little bit in the octagon. Dude, he looked scary. He looked mean. Dude, he was built. He was muscled up. Like, he did not look like he should be the weight that he was fighting at. He looked like he was a lot heavier than that. But he looked mean and focused, dude. He was really, really looking good. His record as of recent, he's been kind of up and down. But McNeil's coming out of Derby City. Derby City's raising some pretty good fighters up in there, I think. High Intensity Combat Sports has also got some killers. So no disrespect towards them either. A lot of the fighters on this card, I think, have, at least 3 are in High Intensity Combat Sports. So, like I said, no slouches at all. And I think Ashby looks like, if he comes out looking like he did this last fight, I think he has a really good chance of getting a win here. McNeil, on the other hand, this is his debut fight from what I can discern, but he looks good from what I can see online. He looks like he's going to come out and be a pretty worthy opponent for Ashby. I think if Ashby and him go head to head here, it's going to be an interesting one. Ashby came out swinging in his last fight that we watched. He landed a couple flurries, ended up on ground and pound. I don't know if you're going to get McNeil down quite that easy, but we'll see. I guess it'll be a good test to see how McNeil's doing.
Trey, you go ahead.
I'm going to go with Ashby on this one. I like his, he's been a little up down through his career so far, but I feel like this is going to be a 6th fight. I feel he's really coming to form. That last one against Wilder, I feel like I got Ashby.
Yeah, I'm the same way. I had the same reaction Hunter did. This guy looks like a freak. I mean, he looks awesome. I mean, total superhero. I don't know. I feel like Ashby's going to apply his veteran status to McNeil here. I just think he has a lot more valuable experience. He's going to hand McNeil his first loss in his first fight. But McNeil is coming out of Derby City. And it's really hard to tell. I've been so back and forth on this. I'm gonna have to say an Ashby win. I'm not sure how. Maybe maybe a TKO, just but like unresponsive strikes kind of thing. But Ashby.
Rounding it on up here to the next fight past Kelsey's grappling fight here. Skipping ahead on the main card to like one of my most anticipated fights of the night. This Jose Evans versus William Myers. This is going to be something to behold. I think this is going to be an absolute just. Oh, I'm so excited. I am so excited to watch this fight. Jose Evans, he's coming out as a knockout king, dude. 5 of his 7 most recent wins have been knockouts. And Myers, on the other hand, has had a bit of a rough patch, dude. I hope that Myers can come out and really put himself in this fight and make it an attainable thing for him to get to. But from what I've seen so far of the footage of both these guys, it's going to be an all or nothing fight for you're going to have to come out if you're Myers in this fight, you're going to have to come out with some knockout power and just absolutely devastate in those first few seconds, because if you don't, I think Jose Evans is going to come for you and he's not going to stop until you're out. I think he's going to come right out the gate just swinging. And I think it's going to be an awesome fight to watch. But I don't think it's going 2 rounds. I don't think it's going a round and a half. I think it'll be the first minute of the fight. I think he's gonna I think there's going to be a clear winner in the first minute of the fight, because if it goes any farther than that, I think there's going to be a whole lot of like my doubt in Myers, if it goes much past the first minute, is going to really start to set in, because I think Evans is a clear winner in this fight. So I'll pass it over to you guys, but that's just my prediction.
Yeah, I mean, Myers' record does speak for itself. It does seem like he has a lot of trouble past the first minute. But hey, I feel like Billy Badass, and he has a fighter's chance. And of course. I mean, I just feel like as long as Jose Evans can weather the storm, I feel like he'll be okay.
Yeah, give him props though. He keeps showing up every single night.
Amen.
Oh yes. No,
Amen.
don't take anything I
I
said
mean,
as
he has
disrespect
not
to
stopped
anybody.
going.
I mean,
There is
awesome.
not.
I respect it so much.
There is not an ounce of my body that is disrespecting anybody on this card, no matter my predictions or not. Like, these guys are absolute dogs. They're coming out
All
fighting. They're
killers.
putting in the work. Respect, 100%
He
respect
gets
to all
knocked
of them.
down, but he gets up again.
He does. You're never gonna keep him down.
Amen.
But yeah,
I think we're
100%.
gonna see some hands swinging in this fight for sure.
I think there's gonna be some. I think it's gonna
excited.
be like cage shaking. Like, it's gonna be a wild fight. I'm so excited for that fight. One of my favorite. Like, I'm gonna be anticipating that all night. Going on up, we're going to Marcus Mays and Chris Worf. I don't have much on this fight. I know that I think I'm going to take Mays in this one, but like I said, I don't have a whole lot of information to go off of on this one. I think it's been a while since Worf has fought. Let me see. It is the co-main event of the evening. Worf is coming off of, looks like 5 losses at least here in a row. And we got 5 wins for Marcus Mays. I think Marcus is going to come out and he's going to distribute what he's been doing. He is a little bit older than Chris Worf here, but I just think he's got a height advantage on him. Marcus Mays is 6'3", Worf is 5'8". I think the height advantage, that alone is going to put him at a disadvantage for Chris Worf here. So you got KO after KO after KO after KO for Marcus Mays, man. I think it's going to be nothing changed. I don't think nothing's going to change in this fight. They're both coming off actually about a year. Yeah, only a 4-month difference in the last time they fought. A year and 5 and 4 months. So, yeah, I'm gonna have to give it to. I'm gonna have to give it to Mr. Marcus Mays here.
Yeah, I mean, they're both coming off, like you said, but the same time off. But I mean, just looking at Mays' record alone, I mean, not even his fight footage, you can just see he is a dominant kickboxer. And, it's worth to say, he hasn't been fought in a while. Maybe he's bounced back than when he could. I don't know. I just feel like Mays' kickboxing skills is going to take over here.
I feel like Mays has got this. I feel like his height's too big, way too much knockout power. Do you think if Worf can get to the ground, can just walk through those punches and get him down, might see something crazy?
I hope to see it.
I think we're in for an exciting co-main event. I don't think it's going to be a boring fight at all.
No,
I think it's going to be a really fun fight. I can see why they put this as a co-main because I do think it'll be exciting. But I think Mays might have the advantage here. But broke clock strikes twice a day, so might see Chris Worf come out and put it to him. All right, moving on to the main event. Again,
oh man,
so excited. This is a really great card, guys. I don't know. I really, after looking into it, I really enjoy this card. I think it's probably going to be one of the better cards we've seen coming out of a local event like this. I've seen Todd Pickett quite a few times. Seen him at other events that he wasn't fighting in. I think he was cornering in one of the LFA events that we went to in Louisville. Rep Hayden's shirt there. He's actually got it on.
Yep.
We got Todd Pickett versus Damian Douglas here. Now, this is going to be a great fight, and I just encourage you, if you don't know, to go look at Todd Pickett's record. He is an absolutely dominant fighter. He's crazy. He goes in there, he puts in the work, and he gets it done. He's a champion for a reason. This is a 5-round fight. I don't see any reason why it goes the 5 rounds. In my opinion, you got Damian coming here. He got a submission win 6 months ago, but he does have a loss on that record where Todd does not. Todd comes in. He's got the total package. He come in with the submissions when he needs to. He's got the knockout power. Like I said, he's number 1 for a reason, and I'm excited to watch him fight again. I've seen him a few times now, and he isn't just walk through them, just like they weren't even there. And I do think Damian's going to be a great fight for him. I think Damian's going to put up probably the best fight you've seen Todd Pickett have. But I am very excited for this one.
I mean, let's just look at Todd's accolades here, man. Like you're saying, I mean, 6-0, 2 KOs, 1 in the first, 1 in the fourth. 4 submissions all in the first round. I mean, he's a purple belt, 34 wins, 24 by submission in the BJJ circuit. Coming out of Gracie Jiu-Jitsu of Kentucky, I mean, super distinguished gem. And Douglas, 8-4, first round TKOs. 3 subs, 1 in the second, 2 in the third. Along with a few unanimous decision wins. I couldn't really find his BJJ record online, but he is fighting out of Ultimate MMA in Alabama, which seems to be putting out some killers with some good records. But I like to look at some more of the recent form of Todd and Damian here. I think it's a clear talking point. Damian's only recent loss, which came from strikes late in the 4th round. He was doing pretty good in the grappling exchanges, and when he got taken down, he got back up. I mean, in his other fights, impressive decision wins and a submission in the 3rd round. I mean, this guy is also a killer. But listen, Todd Pickett is in an immaculate form. I mean, this dude is on fire. I mean, like I said, this guy can put him away, and most of the time pretty early. I feel like Todd is going to respect Damian's striking and try to get him to the ground early. So give me Todd Pickett by defense, by submission to defend his belt.
Before Trey goes, I want to add something here. I think Todd might have it by knockout in this one. I think the only loss in recent in the last 5 fights for Damian was 2 strikes. He got a bunch of submission wins here. Todd's done both. Todd can do both. I think Todd might try to take advantage of perhaps a weakness in Damian's game here. I don't know, if Damian just is more of a submission, like a fan of doing submissions, or if he's, more confident with submissions. But I don't know. I have a feeling Todd might come out and try to put some knockout power on this time. Todd's had his last 2 wins have been by submission, but he did have a couple TKOs and KOs. So he had a ref stoppage and then an injury stoppage. So Todd's got the power, man. He can put it to you. So I think my pick on this one's gonna be Todd by KO TKO. He has a hugely impressive submission game. He's been putting in the work in the Gracie gym, like you've been saying. I've seen he's been posting on his Instagram and social media and stuff. He's been putting in the work, but I don't know. I think he might come out and try to put out a little show, because I think surely he's going pro soon. Like, you know what I mean? Like, an impressive record like this, he hasn't jumped up, to my knowledge, into a pro bout in a while, if at all.
MMA, I don't think he has. Yeah.
So
Only been grappling.
67% of his wins is submissions. So maybe he will.
Yeah, I think Todd's got this for sure. I just wonder if it's gonna be able to do it against Douglas. Is like through sub. He's never been sub before, so I just wonder if Todd's gonna be able to get it through that way or not.
That's a good point too. All right. Any thoughts left on the Pickett and Douglas fight here? All right. Well, closing out the main card then. That was our main event, rather, not our headliner. So now we're going to move into our lock of the night. So this is going to be the pick that we are the most confident in, the most excited about, or, just want to have fun with. So, not going to lie, my lock of the night was going to be Todd Pickett. I still think he's going to get it done. Not changing a thing. But I have changed my lock of the night. We're going with Jose Evans, lock of the night, coming out and putting it on old William Myers here. So that's my win. My pick.
My pick's going to be Anisette over Daniel. Like I said earlier, dude's a killer. Train with killers. Anisette by submission, easily.
I really do love those picked boys, but I think I'm going to go with Gabriel Ruth.
Oh, yeah, it's a great pick.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Good pick.
Okay. His highlights are too insane. I feel like we're going to get another one tonight. Can't be missed.
I agree with that one. Those are both
That's a good one.
Excellent picks. So, all right, guys. I want you to comment. Let us know your predictions below. Tell us what we got wrong. I'm sure we got plenty wrong. You can write a book on that for us. Share this video with your friends, any of the fighters you know, some of the fans, if you're going to be there. Just give us a holler. We'll be there. I'm going to be cage side taking pictures. Very excited for that again. It's a great opportunity that Brandon's given me to get down there and get in on the action. Hopefully I can get some good shots out of this fight. Good luck to all the fighters and your teams on Saturday. There's like I said, all the respect goes out to you guys. You guys are animals putting in the work out there. I'm so excited to watch you work. Like I said, we hope to see you there. Anybody else got any closing thoughts?
Yeah, like you said, hope you guys stay healthy. All respect to you. We wouldn't be talking about anything. We wouldn't be going anything if it wasn't for y'all. So we do appreciate it.
Any closing thoughts, Ray?
I'm good.
All right, man. Well, let us know what you think. After all, we're just casuals. Thanks for watching, guys.